We're now on section 1-3 in the book. It's exponential notation, and these are some examples of how exponential notation works. We've got 3 times 3 times 3. Well, 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. Let's just write that. That's just an example of how these things work. Now, it's desirable when we have large numbers, like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, to write them in a simpler form. And how many 2's are there?
7.
7. There's 7 2's. So we use an exponent. And we put this little number, this is supposed to be a little bit smaller than the 7, and that's an exponent, 2 to the 7th. That indicates that this number gets multiplied by itself 7 times. Well, when we multiply 2 times itself 7 times, guess what? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64, times 2 again is 128, and that's our answer. Lots of different uses for this particular type of problem. 2y to the cube. If they ask you to expand that into regular notation, y cubed gets multiplied by itself 3 times. 2y cubed equals 2 times y times y times y, and that's your answer. Now, they get tricky. Over here, this is a classic example that you need to know. You'll definitely get tested on this one. It will ask you, or something like it, to evaluate 3a cubed for a equals 2. 3a cubed. Now here is the brackets 3a. Okay, I'm going to write it in black as well because it's easier to see. 3a, okay, in brackets, all cubed. And again, 4a equals 2. All right, well, we went ahead and took the liberty of putting our pockets together. All we did here was take the a, replace it with a pocket. We haven't put anything in there yet. And then on the other one, we've done the same thing. We've kept our outside parentheses and just put a little pocket in for the a. The question is, what do we do next? And I think we had Ari who was going to tell us. Is that right?
Yeah, for which one?
For this 2 questions. Do you think we're going to get the same answer?
No.
No. Okay, so what's the story?
Okay, so in the brackets you put 2.
Yeah.
2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8.
Okay.
So 3 times 8 is 24.
Right. 3 times 8 equals 24. Good job. And that's our answer. So let's see if the other one gives us the same thing. What do we do in this one? Keep going, Ari.
Okay. Because it's outside of the brackets, that means both of them gets the power of 3.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
So what about this? How does PEMDAS go? What do we do first? Parentheses. So
3.
So what's it going to be?
Find 2. 3.
3 cubed?
Yeah.
Well, what about the parentheses? It says 3 times 2. Shouldn't we do that? Shouldn't we do, this is an important point, shouldn't we do what's inside the parentheses first?
They're both inside parentheses.
I know, but then we have to do them first.
Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2.
No, 3 times 2. This is important. Shh.
Oh!
You get it?
Yeah.
You get it?
Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6.
3 times 2 is 6.
And then 6 times 6 is 36.
Right.
Times 6 is some random number. And
What's 36 times 6? Anybody? Yeah, Jonathan?
216.
216. Good job.
And that's the answer. And I was
There it
still
is.
right.
Now that's a lot different than this one, isn't it? So you have to be very careful, not only to follow PEMDAS, but to use your pockets. This question is a very tricky one, and I hope that you'll be able to do this, because this is something that you really need to know. You have to definitely thoroughly understand why pockets are so important, and that's why I showed you earlier. We use the pockets effectively. Yeah, we use PEMDAS because here we had to decide whether to go 3 times like 2 cubed.
Oh, okay, sorry.
See, but we had to decide to use parentheses. We had to use the parentheses.
Yeah, I
you
did
do
too.
whatever
I was
is
the same
inside the parentheses first.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I did 3 times 3 times 3. I did the 3 cubed and the 2 cubed, and then I multiplied.
That
and I got
could
the same
work.
thing.
That would work too. That's called the distributive principle.
Okay.
And that's another way you could do it. Because she distributed with that exponent, so it was 3 cubed times 2 cubed. That's another way to do it. Okay? So there are different ways to get the same answer. Go.
Take 4. Okay, 1, 2. Go. Stupid. Why would you? Oh. Stupid. Why were you? Okay.
That was easy.